What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the trade show. Woo! Boy, it feels good to say that. I haven't said that in a long time. But I'm back, and today I'm back in a big way because I have with me a guy that I've known for a long time, Mr. Branden Hudson of SBY MMA and Fitness right here in Salisbury, Maryland. Now, I'm pretty sure that everybody knows Branden. He's a pretty huge personality in this town. And if you don't, well, you must be living under a rock or in Willards or somewhere like that, right? No offense to Willards. But anyhow, what you might not know is that Branden is putting on a major event right here at the Wicomico County Civic Center. It's gonna be huge and it's coming up this month. And today we're gonna sit down with Branden and he's gonna tell us all about it. Branden, you down for that?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
My man. All right, guys, we'll see you in a few seconds. All right, Branden, man, I appreciate you coming on the show here today. Like I said, I haven't done this in a while, so it's good to be back and be back with you. But look, I've known you for a long time. I think a lot of people out there know you, but I'm sure somebody out there who's watching this doesn't. Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so I own SBY MMA and Fitness. We're located at 600 Glen Avenue, inside of Pure Fitness. And for the past 10 years, I've been an MMA fighter, MMA competitor. Started off just trying to lose weight, got into it, it kind of snowballed and started competing and just kind of really took its own form. And then 6 years ago, I started training fighters, started personal training people and so forth, which led us into Pure Fitness's opportunity where for the past 3 years, going on 3 years, we've been able to really do a fully functional facility with multiple disciplines of martial arts underneath. We have boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, karate, and all that underneath the MMA mixed martial arts umbrella. So yeah, and I've done a little bit of I got my hands in a little bit of everything. I've done some motivational speaking, some personal professional coaching, obviously teaching class, personal training. I mean, it's I would say an overall thing of wellness and fitness and all that kind of tied in one.
Absolutely. And it's funny because I actually originally wanted to have Branden on the show to talk about his motivational speaking. He told me a story years ago, probably about a year ago, that just moved me, and I wanted to share it with the audience, but I think we're going to save that for another time because I have Branden here for another reason today, and that's to talk about this major event that he has coming up at the Wicomico County Civic Center this month on the 16th?
October 16th.
October 16th. Tell the audience a little bit about this.
Yeah, so Stellar Fights owner Brad Dalton, I fought for him for 10 years. Him and I have created a separate LLC for BB Corporation. Is presenting Stellar Fights 47, Salisbury's first ever mixed martial arts event. Some of you guys don't know what mixed martial arts is, like the UFC, the cage fights, stuff like that. This is a pro fight. It's going to be an event like no other. We've definitely needed this event in this area. Post-COVID, we've certainly needed more things to do, and people wanted to get out of the house. And it's a big deal. It's a huge deal. Brad's done 46 shows. This will be the 47th. I fought on Stellar Fights 3, so I'm an OG of the game, and it was time. The perfect storm, the perfect recipe created this opportunity where, I think that we were able to capitalize on, such an event, and it's going to be unlike no other.
So when you say pro fight, I'm thinking, at what level of professional? Is this Joe Rogan something he's going to talk about, or what's the levels? Like baseball, you have single A, triple A, double A. It's educating me on this.
Yeah, this is more of a regional area. We're gonna pull. We have fighters coming in from Alaska. We have fighters coming in from Vegas. We have fighters coming in from North Carolina. We got fighters locally. Mike Otwell's the main event.
Okay.
He's fighting out of Berlin. He owns Infinity Martial Arts. We have a guy that's coming from Baltimore and so forth, Frederick. So it's a regional thing. Obviously UFC is the cream of the crop. It's the majors, and then you have Bellator, PFL right underneath of it. These are bigger organizations, but you have a lot of these local, regional type of promotions that put on fights and host in the area. And these are the areas where you could see your next UFC star. Stellar Fights actually has, I'd say, about 5 or 6 UFC fighters that had started in Stellar Fights and ended up moving on to the big ranks. Really? We actually have 2 UFC fighters that will actually be there, 3 potentially. Depending on cornerman, maybe even more, that'll actually be at the event, either cornering, special guest, or actually ringing out.
Awesome, man. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, look,
commentating. Excuse me.
I know that this has been a dream of yours for a long time. I know that you are a Y-High guy.
Yeah.
Those of you who don't know, Y-High is one of the main high schools in Salisbury.
The main.
Right? So I went to Del Mar, Branden went to Y High, and Y High is literally located right across the street from the Wicomico Civic Center. So I have to imagine that, you know, every day as a kid, you're leaving this school, you played football, the football field's across the street.
Yeah.
So you've seen this building so much in your life, and how does it feel now to be able to put on a show here after, you know, seeing this for so many years? I mean,
Dude, it's certainly surreal. It still has not really kicked in yet, and I'm sure the night of the fight and the attendance and the production, we've partnered with DSN, which is Delmarva Sports Network. They are a new sports network that WBOC has kind of put together. They're they're sponsoring the whole event, or, you know, being a partner with it. So it's going to be a televised event. It's not going to be live, so you'll probably get that about a week later. But I think once we get there, see, you know, the cage set up, see the seats set up, see the production, feel the event, I think it's going to sit in. You know, Fernando Guerrero really inspired me. His fights that he had back, you know, a few years back at the Civic Center really inspired this vision. And at that point, I was a competitor. And, you know, I said, I want to fight in my hometown. And that's been the bigger dream, is I always wanted to fight in front of my hometown. You know, I felt like my career as a fighter was never supposed to go to UFC, was never supposed to go bigger than that. But what I did locally was, you know, was something that I'm proud of, because it's inspired a lot of people, and it's got me to the point now. And I'm watching that event back then, I was like, wow, I can do this. I should have been fighting on this card. I was actually, you know, supposed to fight on this card, and unfortunately I got an unforeseen eye injury, and it took me off the card. Certainly, you know, it stung a bit, but at the end of the day, that was never the reason why I wanted to bring MMA to Salisbury, and that was never even the reason why I wanted to fight. Of course, I'd love to be in the ring, I'd love to be center stage, but more importantly, we have to feel this event. You know, it's one thing to have a friend that is doing it, or one thing that has, you know, you see it on TV, but when you go, and I'm really targeting more of the kids, you know, the kids that are not really, you know, in any kind of sports, don't know what it's like to go to a big game, or can't afford to go to a big game. When they get to this event and feel this event, feel the energy, cheering for our hometown guys, hearing the music, seeing the fights, hearing the walkout themes, it's something. The energy is intoxicating. And, you know, ultimately, you know, this will be the annual event. We'll do these one a year, and it'll give these kids and give people an opportunity to really get into MMA. You know what I mean? MMA has changed my life. It's changed a lot of people's lives here at SBY MMA and Fitness. And what we've noticed is that people are actually taking what they learn here internally, and they're sharing it inside of our community. So for me to be able to do that and bring that, I don't have to be front and center. I don't have to be on the stage. I just know that this is so important for our area and for our town, that, you know, we got an opportunity to help people actually really, you know, accomplish their goals.
I know it's funny. Branden talks about how important it is locally to him, because we have this saying in Del Mar that Del Mar is the center of the universe. It's very true, and it's not just Del Mar, but it's pretty much, you know, anywhere here on the Eastern Shore. You know, we feel like sometimes the Eastern Shore is all that matters to us. You know, it is the world to us. And so for you to speak so strong about, you know, how important it is locally, and I think it matters. And I think it is important. But anyhow, like Branden said, you know, he had an unforeseen event happen. He had an eye injury, and he's not going to be able to compete. I think one of the selling points to this whole event was Branden. I mean, Branden can sell anything. People want to gravitate to this guy. So how do you plan on selling this event and this card without you on it?
Well, I mean, I am not the best fighter, was not the best fighter.
No offense to the other fighters. I'm just saying, Branden, you know.
No, truth be told, man, I mean, my boy Mike Otwell, you know, he was co-main event. The only reason why he was co-main event, and the only reason why I'm main event, was just because it was my town. Obviously, he is a well-decorated, more experienced, he's a stud. And the other guys on the card, you know what I mean? These are, even my opponent, you know what I mean, that we had lined up, dude. I mean, this guy we were going to be in for a long ride. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think you're going to get more out of the show with me not being on it, to be honest with you, because you're going to see so much real, raw talent. And if you guys saw Stellar Fights 45 or 46, the last event that we did, first one post-COVID, dude, it was electrifying. It was the best production that Brad had put on up in Harrington. I was so impressed with that production. I was so impressed with the show, and the fighters on the amateur level. This was on the amateur level. I mean, they showed out, dude. It was every fight was exciting. The people raved about it. It was the largest show we had This is a professional fight. You know, you're going to see the cream of the crop. You're going to see guys above that level. And I think that people are going to be really, really pleased and really excited on what they're going to see the night of the fights. On top of that, I've made it very clear, yes, we want to see the fighters. Yes, we want to see that. But it's also a production. We want people to feel this event. And so there's going to be other things that are going to be going on that night other than just the fights that I think the crowd are going to be very pleased about. And know that, you know, this is based upon my why. And one thing I've learned, and we're going to get a little bit motivational on you, but one thing I've learned through my journey is if I want to focus on money, if I want to focus on numbers, if I want to focus on success, my why is really not aligned with what I really want to do. My why is to bring the experience and bring mixed martial arts to the Eastern Shore and a lot more than what it is already. I want to expose what it feels like to have that show. I want to give people an opportunity. Us being partnered with DSN is going to give these fighters an opportunity to be seen in other areas and seen in the other regions and be able to recognize. So this is way bigger than Branden, and I think that people understand that, and I think that people feel that. And if they don't, hopefully they do after this show. That this is for your local fighter, this is for your local guy that you want to see get out of the Eastern Shore, you want to see go on. You're not supporting me, you're supporting your own people that you live with, your own village, so to speak.
Like everybody got behind Fernando.
100%. 100%. You know, everybody gets behind Wild High Indians. Everybody gets behind the Delmar Wildcats.
Bennett Clippers.
Parkside
Rams. We don't leave them out, right?
We do. No, I'm just kidding. No, you're getting behind your own peers that you see every day in this neighborhood, every day around here, even if they're coming in from other places. Because we've got Taylor McMahon's, we've got, you know, Loomis and Jeans, you know, we've got Jacob Smiths, these other local fighters that are on the amateur level that we're getting ready for this professional level that are going to be flooding the card here in the future. So, you know, I want it to be like a Delmar football game. I don't want to. I want an empty house in every street you go to. We want 6,700 people to be able to be in the building, seeing this event. And we want to give the hard work and the acknowledgement to the fighter, to the sport itself, the recognition it deserves.
Well, you were talking about guys that are maybe going to move on from this area. It sounds like Mike Otwell could be one of those guys, maybe Taylor McMahon. I know you have some footage of Mike that you want to share with us today.
100%.
So we're going to take a look at some of Mike Otwell's highlights right now, and we'll see you back here in a few seconds. Ooh, boy. Man, I ain't trying to see that guy in the street.
No, or the cage.
I ain't trying to see him nowhere. Shout out to Mike Otwell, man. Shout out to Mike Otwell.
He is a stud.
Yeah, and he's going to be your main event, right?
Yes, Mike Otwell from Berlin Infinity Martial Arts. He is going to be the main event. You know, he's going to bring a whole huge crowd himself. He's got a great following down there. He's I got to give him so much props for what he's done for MMA in the area, man. He's the gym down there. You know, and he really is. Yeah.
All right, well, look for Mike Otwell. He's going to be headlining this event. But beyond the event, one thing I want to talk to you all about is we've talked about Branden as a motivational speaker. We talked to him about a fighter, a promoter, all these great things. One thing you probably don't know is Branden has an amazing podcast, Champ Talk. It comes on every Wednesday night.
Yep.
Is it 8 o'clock now or 9 o'clock? What's it?
We vary sometimes. Sometimes 8:30, sometimes 9:30. We do Facebook Live when it actually shows. It's Champ Talk with Branden Hudson. It's on YouTube. You can subscribe to that channel. You know, we disguise it with obviously Champ Talk MMA. We do talk MMA, but it ends up being some really deep stuff, some good things that we put on there that, you know, just try to help people, man. Just try to motivate, you know, inspire, you know, just give people a different perspective.
He's like local Joe Rogan. He's like local Rogan. That's what I'm saying. Local Rogan. Right? But no, it's a great show. I've been on there before. One of my favorite episodes was with him and Stacey Alexander.
Yeah.
That was incredible. You guys talking about energy and the masculine energy, the feminine energy, the universe. That was a really good episode. A lot of good wisdom or gems, whatever you guys, or jewels, whatever you guys want to drop nowadays, right?
Drop knowledge.
Drop knowledge. Yeah. I think that was back what we say in the 90s. But that's an amazing show. You guys should definitely check it out. I think you're wrapping up your 4th season.
Yep. Wrapping up our 4th season. We've been doing it for about 2 years now. It's been it's really a great thing. I love it now. I was kind of optimistic about it, or you know, I was like, and then you know, now it's a must. You know what I mean? So we've got a great following. You can catch it on Spotify. You can catch it on Apple, iTunes, or Apple Podcasts. and you know, the websites, all of it, man. It's if you want to see it, you can find it. So
Also got to give a shout out to Maurice Waters, who's the guy behind the camera.
the brand,
Yeah, pulling all the strings behind the camera,
Yes.
doing the brand. Shout out to Maurice.
which he's going to be doing a lot of the production when it comes to the promo stuff and the in between fights at Stellar Fights.
Maurice is incredible. I've had him on the trade show before.
Yes,
Unbelievable.
He's done good work for you as well.
Yeah, but look, speaking of the trade show, we are on the trade show.
Yeah.
And as I always like to do, we always got to make a trade.
Got
That's
it.
kind of my thing, right? So I've been wanting one of your MMA Salisbury shirts. So this is the SBY MMA and Fitness t-shirt. I'm going to trade you. You already got one of my hats. Here's another one of my hats. Got a little more winter feel to it.
I like that.
So, and then also got the, I'm going to kick you two today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
And this
you,
is the Trader Real Estate Entertainment with the old school Nintendo. There's a t-shirt.
Thank you,
That's
brother.
for you. But
Appreciate it, man.
Look, man, we're going to wrap things up.
Yeah.
If there's anything else you want to tell our audience, now's the time to do so. Speak
Guys.
now or forever hold your peace.
Guys, October 16th at the Wicomico County Youth and Civic Center, Stellar Fights 47. This is going to be history. You want to be a part of it. You don't want to miss this show. You don't want to hear about it. It is going to be an amazing event. If you're not an MMA fan, you're still going to get so much out of this. Come in, support your talent. You get tickets at the Civic Center, whether you go through on the webpage or you go there in person. And make sure you support and put your favorite fighter's name in there. You can still put my name in there if you want to support. That'll be in the Fighters Code. But again, October 16th, this is going to be history, man. It's going to be something the towns need. And get prepared. We're going to be many more of these.
I hope everybody can hear them. There's raindrops literally falling on the roof right now. So the audio might not be perfect. We apologize. But look, Andy, I mean, I really appreciate you coming on the show here
Thank
today.
you, brother.
I can't say enough good things about you. Get out there, see Stellar Fights. And also, if anybody like to come on the show, trade an idea, some property, or just good conversation, give me a call, 443-614-4297. And we'll see you next time right here only on the Trade Show.
Yes, sir.
Peace.